Hello, I'm Terry Kolath. I'm here today with Pat Fishburne of Estuary. We're talking about a program she's doing in the Academy of Lifelong Learning. Thank you for joining me, Pat.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I remember the first day you were here. You came into Academy class and said you just moved in.
The movers just left.
That was so great. And you were in the first the first year you were in a the Shell Point photo contest.
Yes,
couple of first prizes.
Yes.
And you've gone on. So now you're not only going to show us some of your beautiful photographs on the large screen in the Grand Cypress Room, but when we look at these photographs, we're also going to learn a little bit about why we like them so much.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, for one thing, we started on a motorhome journey in 2002. So this is really pictures we've taken on our what we call our odyssey, our motorhome odyssey that we were on for 7 years full-time and 2 years half-time. And we mostly did the West because we had lived in the East Coast, so we mostly did the West Coast and we did most of the national parks and everything. So the pictures are beautiful. So come see the pictures even if you're not interested in taking photographs.
Oh, absolutely. One thing about us as a community, we appreciate well done. And a well-done photograph, a well-done painting, a well-done presentation, we appreciate it. We appreciate each other. So the photographs, though, I mean, we are so fortunate. We're surrounded by lovely landscape.
Yes, yes.
And we've all experienced lovely landscape in many places. And to actually see it on the large screen. And I'm so interested in hearing why this picture is so appealing to me. What works about this picture?
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to try and tell you that. I'm going to give you some tips if you're interested in taking photographs, and some people aren't, but if you're interested in taking photographs, even with an iPhone,
Sure.
I'm going to tell you some tips that might work for you. But most of all, I hope you'll enjoy seeing the pictures.
Absolutely. How did you learn these tips, Pat?
Well, when we were traveling on those 7 years, we signed up for a lot of photo tours with nationally known photographers. Wow. And it was a fascinating time because that was just the infancy of the digital era. And most people were still using film.
Sure.
You know? And as were the people who were experts. They were still using film. So they were just learning how to use digital. Now, my husband had used digital from space because he's a rocket scientist and he had done work from space with digital photography.
Sure.
So he understood the digital more than a lot of the people who were professionals at the time. So it was really an interesting give and take because we learned photography from them, but they learned a little digital from Stokes.
And I remember a hesitancy. Oh, that won't be like real photography. Yeah. And look what's happened.
Yes.
You know, a photograph is a photograph. How you get it is one thing.
When we started traveling in 2002, Stokes started out with a tiny little Olympus camera, and it had a delay on it. You couldn't, I mean, when you took a picture, you didn't get that picture. You got the one a second later, really. I mean, it was a kind of a delay on it. And then by the time we were done, you know, traveling 9 years later, I mean, digital had really come into its own. You know, it had really become a real. Before that, you could not submit a photograph to a magazine or something that was digital.
Isn't that amazing?
But by the time we got off the road in our motorhome, it had really become accepted.
Well, I would like to hear maybe a whole other class about this trip and what prompted you to do it. How fascinating. But this time, this class, we get to enjoy the fruits of your experience.
Yes, and give you lots of little tips. They won't be anything, don't be afraid. I mean, this is not for a real photographer. This is for people who are interested in just upping their game.
And if you are a real photographer, you'll really appreciate how another real photographer did it.
I hope so.
Well, won't you please make every opportunity to join us. Coffee, a little sweet treat, and landscape photography. Sit back and enjoy the photographs of Pat Fishburne.
Thank you.